Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, The Crumbs in the Philippines. It's that time of the month again where we just got our electric bill in and we're going to go through our monthly expenses to kind of give you an idea of what's possible should you decide to retire or move and live in the Philippines. Just please be aware that based on your lifestyle choices that you make and the geographical location that you decide to live in the Philippines, these numbers can vary from person to person and location to location. But my only intention of providing these numbers on a monthly basis is to show you what is possible out there and to possibly give hope to some of you that might think that your retirement income is not sufficient to support yourself in the Philippines, to kind of let you know that you don't really need a fortune in order to survive and live a really comfortable life here. I know for me personally, with my pension, I'm pretty happy with that. I draw pension from 2 different places and my Social Security will start next month. And I don't have any issues whatsoever living in the Philippines. It's fairly comfortable for me. But were I to try and do that in the United States, I don't think it would be very possible for me. Whenever I left the United States, before I sold my vehicle and my house and my possessions, my monthly expenditures were about almost 2 times what my retirement pension is. Just my monthly rent and my car payment and car insurance surpassed the budget that I have on a monthly basis here in the Philippines. So it's just not possible. It would not have been possible for me to retire comfortably unless I worked until I was 70 years old probably, and or depended on my kids to supplement my income and help me with expenses, and that's just not something that I was willing to do. So, I decided to move to the Philippines after some research, and I knew the cost of living was quite a bit lower here, and until you experience it for yourself, you're always going to have just that small tingling feeling of anxiety, wondering, can I really do it? And trust me, that's the reason I put this video out every month, and it just continues to go. I'm going to do it until I've completed 1 year so that people can see that my expenses don't really fluctuate a lot from month to month. And we live in a nice place, a gated community with 24-hour security, a swimming pool, and places to walk, and places for the kids to play. So, we don't really have anything to fear, and we live in a nice place. So, with that being said, we'll just go into the budget. And if you guys should have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. As always, I'm going to leave some links down in the description box below that match up to our most frequently asked questions, especially after this video in particular regarding my healthcare costs. I just don't, feel that I don't want to waste a lot of time describing what I personally do for my healthcare each time I make this video, because the explanation takes about probably 5 to 8 minutes, and it's much easier. You can just click the link down in the description box and you can go and see what that is. You can see how my health savings account works and why I chose to do that when I was a worker. And the one piece of advice I would give anyone out there is, if you have the opportunity to have or utilize a health savings account for your health plan while you're in the United States, just be aware that that plan goes with you when you retire. And if it comes with a little debit card like my American Fidelity program does, that card is accepted here in the Philippines for any medical costs, and those costs are tax-free. So, with that being said, we'll jump right into it again. This is for the month of September. We did have to add in some miscellaneous costs this month because we made a trip to Puerto Galera for my birthday. So we added that in here as well, okay? So we'll get started. As always, our housing budget stays the same. It's at 30,000 pesos. And at the current exchange rate of 56.83 pesos per dollar, that comes to $527.89. we're extremely happy as always. The exchange rate has been pretty steady the last several months and has been above 55 pesos to the dollar for a while, which can really aid in helping your retirement income, Social Security, go a lot farther each month. Our electric bill went down significantly this month, as I knew it would, because here in Lipa City we're at an elevation of, I don't know the exact feet, but in meters we're about 1,000 plus meters above sea level. So it's significantly cooler, especially in the months that end in ER, September, October, November, December, and then it carries on into January and February. You'll become very familiar with the words if you ever live in the Philippines, because they start celebrating and getting ready for Christmas in the months. As soon as it hits September 1, you start hearing Christmas music in the malls. The lights go up in the neighborhoods. You start seeing Christmas trees. It's pretty interesting. They're a pretty happy-go-lucky bunch here in the Philippines, and they know how to have a good time. One of the things I really like about the place. So our electric bill, 2,731 pesos, or $48. It's really nice. It should go down even more as the temperatures cool even more. Our water bill, back to normal this month, 282 pesos, or $4.96. That's our non-drinking water. For our drinking water, it's our standard, almost the same every month, 180 pesos, or $3.17. For the internet, nice to have that lower internet bill now, 1,399 pesos, or $24.62. And my real speeds on the internet are about 38 megabytes per second up and the same down, which is pretty good for that price, and it's unlimited. There's no data cap. LP gas for cooking, we budget 300 pesos per month. Did not have to buy a bottle this last month, but that comes to $5.28. Our gas for the scooter, 742 pesos, or $13.06. Gas prices have been pretty stable here in the region. We pay about anywhere from 61 to 68 pesos per liter, and we get 43 to 44 kilometers per liter. You can do a conversion, or maybe I'll throw a conversion up there for you to show you what that is in miles per hour on the scooter. But our gas costs are fairly insignificant, and that is our primary mode of transportation, and we were able to take it with us when we went to Puerto Galera, which was a really nice touch to our vacation. Our food this month was 15,932 pesos, or $280.34. I don't know if our lowering costs in food is because we're eating less, or maybe the price of some of the items in the wet market have gone down slightly. I know some of the vegetables are actually higher than they were before, but in the pork and fish and chicken, that stuff is fairly cheap compared to what you pay in the United States. Our restaurant fee for this month was 3,118 pesos, or $54.87. As always, Jen and I normally stick pretty much to the mom and pop places where we both eat very reasonably, most of the time less than $5 for each one of us to have a nice meal. There's one place in particular that we go to where we can, both of us, have a lunch, and it's 100 to 120 pesos, which that's less than $2 for both of us. And it's a filling meal, and it's not unhealthy. It comes with a big portion of rice and a bowl of soup. It's really nice. Our miscellaneous cost this month, which is completely our Puerto Galera expenses, was 7,500 pesos. We took a really nice trip, 3 nights and 4 days, and the cost of our lodging, our food, and the transportation round trip both ways was 7,500 pesos. That's really nice to go to a destination as beautiful as Puerto Galera, White Beach, and the Tamaral Falls. And that comes to $131.97. And I can remember times in the U.S. where I stayed in hotels that were not 5-star by any stretch of the imagination, and they were more than $100 for one night. So we spent $131 for 3 nights and 4 days, and that included our transportation round trip and our lodging. Amazing. The Social Security for Jen, 650 pesos. That's a static charge for us. It's the same every month, $11.44. Phil Health, 350 pesos, or $6.16. Our homeowner association fees, 500 pesos, or $8.79. Next month, our homeowners association fees are going to increase to 680 pesos. I don't really complain about that because the services that we get for that money are very well worth it. And then we had a $200 hit on our phone load for this month. We had to add $200 to Jen's phone when we went to Puerto Galera. But all said and done, our total this month was 63,884 pesos, or $1,124.12. Pretty reasonable. That included a vacation. If you subtract our vacation from the cost, it's right at or slightly below $1,000, which is our average for the past year. So we're going to continue to do this until we hit 1 year, so you guys can see that it really doesn't fluctuate that much. You can kind of guess and gauge how much inflation affects our costs here in the Philippines. Because I know inflation is a big deal in the USA, but here in the Philippines it remains relatively constant at about 3.5 to 3.6%, and a lot of times it goes below that. The average Filipino family lives on way less than we do, and they get by well. But as always, guys, it just really depends on your lifestyle and what extra expenses you're going to have on top of the basic necessities of life. Appreciate you guys so much for sticking with us and watching our videos. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video so we can get it out to more and more viewers. We're rapidly approaching 2,000 subscribers, and we're also approaching the 6-month point since the birth of our channel. If you would have told me when we started that we would have this many subscribers, there's no way I would have believed you. Here in the next few days, guys, some great news. We're going to make a couple of videos of homes that are for rent here in the Plantation subdivision. We've had several viewers request to see homes that are available here in our subdivision. And the actual home that Jen and I lived in before this one is going to be available for rent in November, at the end of November. It rents for 15,000 pesos per month, which is a very good price. When we rented it, it was 13,000. But Victor and Rena, just really, really nice people, the owners of the house. They live in Canada, and Victor has been in town for the last month or so making some upgrades to the house. They have done a ton of work on that, and I can understand them raising the rent slightly up to 15,000. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. You have a neighbor on your left, but there's an empty lot on your right. You have a covered carport. You have a back area that has a dirty kitchen in it. It is unfurnished. You'd have to furnish it yourself. And I know Jen and I, we outfitted the place for, I think it cost us about 24,000 pesos total to outfit the house with living room furniture, a dining table, just a normal size refrigerator, and a 2-burner gas stove that we put out back on a folding table. And we also bought a washing machine. All of those things we bought for I think it was 24 or 25,000 pesos. You just have to shop around and find good deals. We didn't buy all of those things in the same place. If you ever need any help looking for things like that, or you're here in the Philippines and in the Lipa City area, I can certainly steer you toward where to find the best prices on living room furniture, appliances, beds, because we buy all of these things in different places. Electronics. As always, guys, thank you so very, very much. We very much appreciate you. Hope you'll stick around and watch the videos to come. There's going to be several homes for rent that we throw up on videos. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, and I know some of you are, just hang tight and we'll show you some nice places that are available here in the Lipa City area. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.